Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from the Mini Wargaming Bunker in Welland, Ontario, Canada, where I will be fighting a kill team battle between my Ecclesiarchy kill team with the Sisters of Battle against Trevor's Tyranids, Genestealers for days. So the story that we've got going on here is that this is a Shrineworld that the sisters have devoted themselves to protecting here. And they've devoted themselves to fighting off any threat that might pose themselves onto the Emperor's Shrine upon this planet. But part of this planet was also a Promethium production fields because always got to have, if you have resources, then the Emperor certainly wants them for his further conquest into the galaxy beyond. So when they were doing the productions here, word started getting back to the sisters about disappearances of workers out on these fields. So they sent out a force to go investigate what might be going on. And when they got there, they found a scouting party for a Tyranid Hive Fleet that was making its way into the system. And the sisters knew they had to put down this force before it insinuated itself into the planet and became too late. So we are going to be playing the Awaken the Data Spirits mission from the core rulebook for Kill Team 2021 here. Essentially, there are a bunch of different objectives here. So 2 in the middle are going to be the upload terminals, upload links, what are they called? Uplinks. So they're uplinks. Then the other 4 are going to be firewall terminals. Essentially what you can do next to a firewall terminal, you can do an action called disconnect firewall. And if you do so, it's removed from the game. You score points at the end of the turning point based upon if you disconnected the firewall, you score 1 VP. So there's the disconnecting give you points there, but also at the end of each turning point, based upon which of the if you control the uplinks, you score victory points. There's the way you score the victory points is if you control it and one of the firewalls has been removed, then you score 1 point. If both of them have been removed from its specific, the specific firewalls have been removed from it, you score 2 points. If none of them have been removed, you score 0 points. So holding on to that middle objective doesn't mean anything until you've taken off some of these uplink here. So it's going to be a big old clash in the middle, trying to figure out when we're going to be taking off these uplinks to see if you're going to control it. It should be a lot of fun. Before I go any further, I do want to mention that Trevor and his wife both have a painting company called Ink and Bristle. You can check them out. What's the best way to send them? Do you think your Instagram or?
Instagram's probably the best. Ink
cool.
and Bristle.
Sure.
At Ink and Bristle.
At Ink and Bristle. So go check them out on Instagram. They're also on Facebook. You can look from there. Just go check out their work and see if you want to hire them. Do you guys do you don't just do local, right? You do anywhere?
Anywhere in the world. We do full armies. We do
terrain, individual models, whole armies.
Everything.
Excellent. Stickers. So anything that you want. Yeah. Papergraph. Give him a check. Give him a call and see what they do. He does some incredible work. You can see it over here with his Genestealers. I'll give a closer look later. But also, he also did, it turns out, I had these sisters that I've been using from Mini Wargaming here. He did their painting job too, which is pretty incredible. So he's got 2 armies basically on the table that he's going to be playing here with. Super love it. So, yes, so make sure that you go check out Ink and Bristle. Give him some love. Tell him the Glacial Geek sent you and say hello. So, just wanted to say that because it's important to me to help everybody. Rising tides raise all ships. So, we are now going to show you the 2 kill teams that are going to be fighting it out today before we go any further. And for the Ecclesiarchy kill team, I'll be running a fire team of Sisters of Battle and a fire team of Sister Repentia. And for the Tyranids, he will have 2 fire teams of Genestealers. All right, going over deployment now. I've got a Sister Repentia on my left flank over here. I've got 2 Bolter Sisters over here. I've got my Sister Superior in the back here behind 2 more Sister Repentia. We have another bolter sister right there, and this is going to be my sister gunner with the Meltagun. We then have 2 more sister Repentia over on that flank over there. Going over here for the Tyranids, we've got a lot of Genestealers. So all the Genestealers, all along the front here. All the Scything Talons getting ready to just cleave into there and just destroy the sisters. That's what they hope. But the Emperor will protect, and we will hold them back. So his leader is back over here with a fancy-looking cool base over there. And that's where they've got there. So that is going to be deployment. We have chosen our attack ops, so they're ready to go as well. We've got them over on the side. So now we are going to do the scouting phase. So we have our die here. We're going to choose 1, 2, or 3. 1 is recon. It'll allow us, or is fortify, sorry. 1 is fortify. It'll allow us to place another barricade within red of our deployment zone. If we choose number 2, it's infiltrate. That will allow us to change our activation token from either engage to conceal or conceal to engage on one of our operatives in the first turning point, because otherwise we have to keep the one that we've given them in deployment. Or the third is going to be recon, which will allow us to take a free dash action with one of our operatives at the beginning of the game here. It also acts like a rock paper scissors method to determine who goes first. So recon or fortify beats recon, or no, fortify beats infiltrate, infiltrate beats recon, recon beats fortify. So we're going to now roll. We're going to put the dice down. We'll show it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my opponent has chosen 2, so he will be switching one of his tokens. I have chosen 3, so I will be doing a free dash there. It also means that my opponent will be going first with the initiative there because he's beaten me out with 2 beating 3. That's the way it works there. All right, excellent. So we will come back to you with the strategy step. All right, so into the strategy step here, we both gain a CP, putting us at 3 CP. Then we come into the strategic ploy step, and I'm not going to spend any, but my opponent's actually going to spend 2. So he's going to spend 1 on Lurk, which will give all of his operatives here, if they are in cover and either have the conceal token, or they have a concealed token, or they are readied, so they have not been activated yet, they can retain an additional dice for the save during shooting attacks against them, as opposed to just the 1. They can actually just retain 2 normal saves, which is pretty good for 1 CP for them, because I think he's afraid of a bunch of bolters, which, to be fair, so would I if I was there. And then my opponent's also gonna, just a little bit. And then my opponent is also going to spend 1 CP on Stalk, which will allow him to choose one of his operatives and just give them a free move, which is pretty rad. So
this guy back here.
You're going to give the guy back there, and he's just going to make his move. Perfect. Yeah, just make him move up there. That sounds great. So that is going to be it. So we will come back to you. That's the strategy step. So we will now come back to you after with the firefight step. All right. So the first activation my opponent's done here is the first thing he did was he actually used his from the scouting step to change the this operative's from engage to conceal. He then took his free dash action that all Genestealers have, got over there, and then moved over the barricade over there onto the firewall that was there, and then did the action to remove the firewall. So scoring himself a victory point there, and also prepping this to be held and scoring points. So pretty interesting. All right, so my operative here has now moved up into this position over here, and then will spend her second AP to take that firewall down over there, scoring me a VP. So his next activation over here will be to move up so that he is over there contesting that objective, currently controlling it. My next activation will be to activate this Repentia, who will move up over to here, and then removed that firewall. My next activation will be the sister that was over here. She moved up into this position next to her Repentia sister, and she's going to fire her bolt gun into his operative over here. He is going to have receive light cover over here, so I'm going to have 4 shots, looking for 3s with her bolt gun, getting 1 hit. This is now you will just retain your 1 free save, and you're good to go.
Perfect.
His next activation would be to move this Genestealer up here behind the barricade, staying concealed. My next activation will be with this sister over here. She is going to fire into his Genestealer over there. So I'm going to have 4 dice again, looking for 3s. Okay, getting 3 hits. No crits there, so you'll probably retain 1 of your 3, and then you can roll the other 2. Getting one more, so you ignore both, or you ignore 2 out of the 3, means you take 3 damage. His next activation will be moved to Genestealer over here. My Sister Superior is going to move into position over here and fire over the shoulder of her Repentia brethren over there. Sistren? I don't know. Whatever the sister version of brethren is. Into his Genestealer over on this side. Going to try to take him down. That's what we need. Hitting on 2s. Getting 1-1. So I got 1 crit and 2 regular hits here. So now you have the 3 dice. You can choose to take 1. You probably want to take...
I think I have to risk it.
You got to risk it. Okay, go for it. Yeah. So we're looking for 5s. No, none there. So that will just take him out. And then their operative over here is going to move into position behind over here. And now this sister is going to activate. She's going to move into position over here and then fire downrange into his operative back over there. So I'm going to have 4 shots here hitting on 3s. Getting 2 hits.
Take my 1 defense.
Okay, yeah. Are you in cover back?
No,
oh no,
sorry, I don't. So I don't.
Yeah, you don't have the cover over there, so just have the 3. Getting 1, so he will take 3 wounds. Then my opponent activated Genestealer over here, who did their free dash, moved up onto the firewall over there, and removed it for the victory point. My Sister Repentia there moved and dashed into position. Next activation will be this Genestealer. Was over here, then moved and dashed into position over here. And then my Sister Repentia over here moved and dashed onto the objective to contest it from his operative over there. Then my opponent has activated Genestealer over here to move and dash into position over here. And then my Sister Repentia here is going to move and dash around the silo here onto the objective over there. And then his leader has moved and dashed up here, getting into position to snap into action next turn. And then last but not least, my gunner is going to move into position over here. So that is going to be the end of the first turning point here. At the end, we are contesting this objective, so neither of us will get points here. But I did manage to snag this objective up over here, which means that I will be scoring 2 points because both of the firewalls have been removed. So at the end of the first turning point. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you giving me one of those. Yeah, you did score the 1 VP for it, but I also scored a VP because it did. So I'll take it. So at the end of the first turning point, the score is now 4-2 to the Sisters of Battle. And we will now roll off to see who will have initiative going into turning point number 2. A 1 to a 4, so it will be the Sisters with initiative going into turning point number 2. I also meant to show that I got execution here. So essentially I reveal this. Focus, come on, get on there. There we go. No, what are you doing? Focus on it. What are you doing? Whatever, focus. Anyway, whatever it is. Essentially what happens there is I reveal it when I had a turning point, at the end of any turning point in which more enemy operatives were incapacitated than my own. So I incapacitated one of his operatives. I had none of mine were incapacitated. So I reveal it. If it happens again, I will score 1 VP. And if it happens on 2 other turns, I will score an additional VP. So it's revealed now. We'll see how it goes going forward. All right, so into the strategy step of the second turning point here. We both gained a CP. Then we both are going to be spending CP on strategic ploys. I spent 1 CP on Emperor's Guidance, which during till the end of the turning point, whenever a friendly Adepta Sororitas operative fights in combat or makes a shooting attack, in the roll attack dice step of that combat or shooting attack, if I retain any critical hits, I can re-roll another dice, which is pretty good. My opponent is going to be doing Lurk and Feed. So Lurk gives him the extra retained dice when you're in cover, when you are readied, or when you have Conceal Order. And then Feed, if he, what is it again?
So Feed is until the end of the turning point. Each time a friendly Hive Fleet operative fights in combat, the first time you strike with a critical hit in combat, inflict 1 additional damage.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so every time he fights, he gets 1 additional damage on that first crit that does a strike, that he uses to form a strike. So it's pretty good, because I imagine we've gathered in the middle here. There will be plenty of combats to come. Should be some fisticuffs coming over here. So neither of us is going to be revealing any of our attack ops here. Oh, no, do you? Are you going to reveal?
Yeah, I think
we do have some reveals. Oh, my bad.
It's I'm gonna do Seek and Destroy.
Okay.
So reveal this tack up in the target reveal step at any turning point.
Okay.
If an enemy operative is incapacitated by a friendly operative that is within 6 or red octagon, pentagon? Yeah,
Yep.
of your opponent's drop zone. Of your opponent's drop zone, you score 1 VP, and then if you achieve the first condition in any subsequent turning points, you score 1 VP.
All right, so so he's going to be scoring, trying to kill me close to my deployment zone. I've still got a bunch that are well within range over there, so should have plenty of options if he can get the charge off over there for route. So he did reveal route there. So that is going to be it for the strategy step. We will come back to you with the firefight step. All right, so my first activation here in the firefight step, my sister Repentia over here is going to charge off of that objective into combat over here. I'm within engagement range over here, so my opponent will get +1 to his hits because of that. So I think you were looking for 4s, right? So
I'm looking for 3s.
You were looking for 3s, so now you're going to be looking for 2s because you're going to be engaged with 2 over here. But the reason I did is because my weapon has Reap 2, which means giving mortal wounds any strike of any critical strikes that I do there. So she is going to attack into the one in the front over here. I've got 4 attacks looking for 4s. You have 5 attacks looking for 2s now. All right, so I got 1 critical and 3 regular, and my opponent has a critical, all critical and 4 regulars. So we'll come back to it. All right, so here's how it's going to go out here. I am going to strike with my critical over there, doing 6 damage to my target over here and 2 mortal wounds because of Reap 2 into his other operative over on this side. My opponent then struck me with his critical, which would normally do 6 damage, but because of his strategic ploy that he used, it actually is going to be able to do one additional one there. So that would be 7 damage. The reason we're stopping here as opposed to going any further is because my sister Repentia only has 7 wounds. So this could straight up gank me. But Sister Repentia have a 5-up feel no pain. So they roll a d6 for each wound that they would take, and on a 5-up they ignore it. So I'm going to try to roll those, looking for 5. Does the Emperor truly protect? We're going to find out if she is truly repentant for whatever she has done. And she does get a couple there. So with those 3, that means she's alive with 3 wounds remaining. Woo! And then I will strike with a regular one, which will kill his operative right there, because that's going to be 11 total damage. They've only got 9, so that will be the end of the sequence. And then my opponent activated this Genestealer, who moved and dashed into position over on this side here. All right, so now my sister over here moved up into position and is now going to fire into his leader over here. Because he spent Lurk, he can actually retain 2 regular dice if he so desires, but I'm going to fire here. So looking for 3s to hit. Just getting 2 hits, which he's going to be retained to ignore that. Then his leader is going to activate and go into conceal and move over here, move and dash in there behind the boxes. All right, so now my sister Repentia here is going to activate, and she is going to charge into his leader over here. I am going to be rolling 4 dice, looking for 4 ups with my... she also has the Scourging Barbs, which is an equipment, allowing me to re-roll one of my attack dice, but then if that attack dice is a 1 or a 2, she suffers 2 mortal wounds. And you have 5 dice looking for 2s because it's your leader. Oh, wow. I am definitely going to re-roll something. I got to re-roll something. Oh, no, and it's a 1, so I'm just going to take 1 mortal wound. I'm going to take 2 mortal wounds. And then you are...
4 hits.
4 hits. All right. Oh, man, I think she is probably pretty dead. So these are doing what damage? Just regular hits, though.
Yeah, they're regular 6, so they're 4.
4 damage apiece?
Regular hits,
yes.
So they're 4.
4 damage apiece.
6, yeah.
So that's going to be 16, 18 wounds. Oh, 1 sec. All right, so I'm going to do the Field of Pains, because let's see what happens here. Not bad. So she of the 9 so far, she's passed 4, so she's taken 5 wounds, so I'm down to 2 left. And then, once again... No, and she is dead. There she goes. She is... Wow, that was not great. That was not great. Real bad. All right. And then over here, he is going to activate an operative who is going to charge into my sister Repentia over here. He will be hitting me on 2s because of the extra guy that is over on this side. I will be hitting on 5s because I am wounded. So, here we go. Okay, so I got 1 crit and 1 regular. You have 5 hits all going on there, so we'll come back to you. And then with the Scything Talons, my opponent can actually re-roll something, so he's going to try to re-roll that one. into a 4, so it's into a regular hit again. So at this point, what is going to happen is my opponent is going to strike me. We talked about this already. He's going to strike me here. I am going to spend 1 CP for Divine Intervention to make that do 0 damage. He can't deflect, he can't parry any of my attacks because you need a critical in order to parry the brutal weapons. It is super brutal. At which point I will strike with my my crit here, which does 6 damage to him, and then 2 mortal wounds into his other operative over here, down to 5 on that operative. And then my opponent will be striking me with this, doing 4 damage with a regular strike here. I do have feel no pains on these because of just the sisters being it. So I need to make 2 for her to still be alive. She makes none of them, so she is gonna be a dead. Then for my activation, I'm gonna activate my Sister Repentia here. Is gonna charge around over here into his leader again. So he's gonna have 5 attacks looking for 2s. I'm gonna have 4 attacks looking for 4s.
Big roll off. Oh, look at those ones.
All right, so... Okay. I am going to spend a CP to reroll one of these. You got the Scything Talons. All right, and I'm going to spend 1 CP to reroll into another hit. All right, so let's... we'll come back. All right, so going over the decision-making process here, I struck with that, doing 5 damage. My opponent then couldn't parry any of mine because of brutal, so he struck me as well, doing 4 damage. So I'm going to see a feel no pain here. Wouldn't kill her, so we're just going to do the feel no pains. Doesn't feel 1 pain, so she's going to take 3 damage down to 4. Then I will strike with this, doing 5 damage, killing his leader. I also scored Headhunter here, so if I incapacitate the leader, I score 1 VP, and if it is the first or second turning point, it's the second turning point, I score an additional VP, so 2 VP for me. My opponent is then going to activate this guy who is going to move on to the objective there. I'm then going to activate my gunner over here. She is going to fire into his operative over this way because she was able to get there and avoid any cover between them because she is not close enough to provide cover to the concealer. So she is going to fire. I've got 4 dice here looking for 3s to hit. That is going to be 3 hits. AP minus 2, so you only have 1 die actually. Yeah, you only have the 1 die, so you can roll that. But it's not enough. So that is going to just straight up kill him over there. And she was my deadly marksman this whole time. So when now I reveal this because she incapacitated someone with her shooting attack while wholly within square of the drop zone over on this side, which provides me with this. So now if she kills anyone else with an attack, I score a VP. And then if she's still alive at the end, she will score me a VP. And the Hive Mind really wants that objective. So he activated his guy back there to jump up onto the objective over here. And then my activation is going to activate this Sister Repentia is going to charge on in there. So I'm going to have 4 attacks looking for 4s. She does have a Purity Seal just in case I decide to want to use it. All right, so I've got, maybe I will, I don't know. So you're hitting on 3s, right? And you get to reroll 1. Yep. Okay, into 2 crits. That's pretty nice there. Oh, all right. All right, I'm gonna use my Purity Seal. Why not? Because I think she might be dead. Into a hit. So we'll see how this goes. We'll come back to you in a bit. All right. So into this here, we have. I'm going to strike first with my critical there, doing 6 damage. My opponent then struck with his critical because of the feed stratagem that he spent during the strategic step. That will do 7 damage, which would normally kill me, but 5 up, feel no pains.
All the 5s and 6s.
Oh, I got 2. So she's still alive with 2 wounds left because they only have 7 left. So she's going to be alive with 2. So this one will strike and kill him with the rest because it did 6 and then 5. So it's going to be 11 damage into him and he is dead. And then my opponent is going to charge into me with his other activated operative here. So he's going to have 5 dice looking for 3s. And I'm going to have 4 dice looking for 5s because I am wounded. So I do get the 1 crit. And then you got 1 crit and 3 regular hits here, and re-rolling because of talents, so that's going to be another hit there. 1, we'll come back. All right, so my opponent is, his first action will be to parry because it is brutal, but that means you can parry with crit, so his crit will parry my crit. Then I'm going to be taking 16 damage. Can I feel no pain? I need to make 15 of these 16 to survive. Can she do it? No, she can't. She's dead, really dead. So now my Sister Superior is going to move up to over here and then shoot into his Genestealer that is over here with 3 wounds left out in the open. So I will roll my dice, looking for 2s because he is my sister's superior. That is going to be 3 hits. You get 0 saves, so that will definitely kill him there. And then I'm going to activate my Sister Repentia here to charge into his, that went over there. So I'm going to have 4 dice hitting on 4s. I got a crit and a 2 regular hits over here. My opponent got a crit and rerolling because of Silent Talons, and then 3 regular hit. An easy decision. If I strike with that crit, he is dead because he only has the 5 wounds since he took those 4 wounds from the mortal wounds previous. And because the other guy over there is within a triangle of my target, he also takes 2 mortal wounds. And then my opponent is going to activate this guy who is going to charge into my Sister Repentia. So he's going to have 5 dice looking for 3s. I have 4 dice looking for 4s. All right, we'll come back to you with... you get to re-roll 1, the one there.
Let me do that one.
All right, we'll come back to that. All right, so now we're going to show here what we've done so far. So my opponent, because I've got Brutal Weapon, he can't parry with the regular hits. So his first one will be to strike me to do 4 damage. I will then strike with mine, doing 5 damage with a regular strike with the Eviscerator there. Then my opponent struck with his second hit there, which means that I've got 8 pains to try to feel none of. So looking for 5 ups. If this might kill her, so that's why we've got to roll for it before we go any further. She only makes the 1, which means that she is dead on that second strike.
And
so
before we go any further,
before we go any further here,
he has feeder tendrils.
Because he's got feeder tendrils,
Incapacitates an enemy operative in combat. It regains up to D3.
he regains D3 because of feeder tendrils. So you gain another 1. That's fine. So back up to 3. Not bad. There you go. And then my sister, battle sister over here, is going to move up and fire into this Genestealer here. So I'm going to have my 4 attacks looking for 3s. I got a crit and 3 regular hits. You got 1 crit save, which you'll block my crit, but this will do 3 damage anyway, killing him. And then she is going to move and dash onto the objective over here, and that will be the end of our turning point here. All right, so at the end of the second turning point here, we both control an objective that is giving us each 2 points, so we get 2 points each for that. And then I also scored an additional point for execution since I removed more models than he removed from me this turn, which gives me the first point for execution. We will now roll off to see who has initiative going into turn 3. I rolled a 3, so it will be the Tyranids' turn here on turn 3. So into the strategy step here, we both gain a CP. My opponent is going to spend 1 on feed, and I'm going to spend 1 on Emperor's Guidance that I completely forgot about the last turning point entirely. So hopefully this time I will remember, but we'll see how that goes. Neither of us has any tactical ploys to reveal, so we will now move into the firefight step. And my opponent over here is now going to activate this guy who's going to charge into my sister of battle over here. I'm going to have 3 dice looking for 4s. My opponent has 5 dice looking for 3s. All right, so I did get a crit and a regular one. He got a crit and 2 regular. Rerolling 1 because of Silent Talons. That's going to be another wound there. We'll come back. All right, so the first thing my opponent's going to do is parry my crit with his crit. I will strike with mine over here, doing 2 damage. And then my opponent... Oh, no, I forgot. Divine Intervention. I already forgot.
Yeah.
Already forgot. There we go.
Hey.
So, 1 second. All right, so we went back and did the math a bit different. We allocated it differently, knowing that I had that the extra one there. What I decided to do was I decided to parry one of his attacks. He struck me, and then I parried his last attack. So I will take 4 damage from this 1 strike that gets through, putting me down to 4 wounds. All right, so now my sister Repentia over here is going to activate. She's going to charge into him over on this side. So I'm going to have 4 attacks looking for 4s, and you're going to have 5 attacks looking for 3s. Neither of us is wounded at this point. So I did not retain a... 1 second. All right, so my opponent gets to reroll 1 because of his getting another crit, which is pretty good, because of his Scything Talons. And I'm going to spend a CP to reroll 1. No, that's going to be a 1. So it's not a barb. Luckily, it's not the barb one. I don't take mortal wounds. But this is where we're left. We'll come back to you. All right, so I'm going to strike with my 5 there, doing 5 damage to him over there. So leaving him down to 1. And then he strikes with all of the others that are left because I've got nothing else there. So I've got 18 wounds here on Feel No Pains. Oh, no, she's dead. Right up there for the first 8 that I rolled there. So she is straight up dead. All right, so my opponent's then going to activate his last guy there, who's going to charge into my sister that's already engaged there. He is wounded, so he's going to be -1 to hit, but he has a friend there, so he's going to be +1 to hit. So looking for 3s again, and I'm looking for 4s. So I only get the 1 hit. You get 2 crits. 3 crits. Okay, 3 crits. So his first move will be to parry my here, and then just straight up kill her. And now my marksman's gonna fire into the fully healed Tyranid over there. 4 dice, looking for 3s. Oh, you got a feel no pain. You got a 5-up.
Feel no pain.
No, not feel pain. You got a 5-up. Invul. So you can actually roll all 3 dice. So yeah, you're looking for 5s anyway, because that was what your save is. I keep forgetting about that. Getting 2 of them. So that's gonna be 2 saves. So that's 2 saves get blocked there. So that's going to only do 1, which is, I think, only 6 damage. So he's still alive. Then I'm going to activate my Sister Superior, who's going to fire her Melta into the 3 wounded guy over there. 4 attacks looking for 2s. Oh, no. 1 hit, and you've got a block there. So nothing from the Melta. All right. And then my sister here is going to activate, shoot into the 1 wounded guy over there. Hitting on, okay, so I got a crit, and I've got 2 regular hits.
I only have 1.
So only got the 1 crit, so he will be dead. And then my last activation, this sister is going to fire into his guy over there. 3s to hit. That's going to be a crit and a reroll because of divine intervention. So it's a crit and 2, and that's going to do enough damage to kill him as well. And with that, that's the end of the 3rd turning point. That is all my models and also all of his. So I do not get the Deadly Marksman because she did not kill anyone else afterwards because of your awesome saves on her Melter shot there. So she did not get anyone there, so therefore I'm not going to get any points from that. Execution didn't happen because you killed 2 and I killed 2. Yeah. Therefore, I did not kill more, and there's nothing left here to get any more points. But at the end of this turning point, I will get 2 more points, which will bring me up to 11. And then next turning point, I will be able to get the 4 points for there. So it will be a victory for the Sisters of Battle. But you did a great job at keeping me from getting a lot more points there, which is pretty cool. It's fun. This was your first game into this, really, right? You've done some looking into it, and you've played previous editions.
But not this edition. So this is
getting into this edition. It was fun, right? It's fun. It's really tactical. Really, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I hope you guys all have too. Yeah. So again, remember, go check out Ink and Bristle on Instagram. Check them out on Facebook. Check out their stuff. It looks awesome. I really enjoy their paint jobs, so go check them out. They're really, really good. And tell them the Glacial Geek sent you. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek. As always, my opponent's been Trevor. And until next time, stay safe and have fun.